Was Abraham Lincoln a president?
Yes.
Oh, I thought he was just a whatever public figure.
Welcome back to Delulu Diaries, where the timelines don't match, but the receipts always do. Before we jump into today's video, which is going to be going over some of Amberlynn's exercises, I do just want to say that I am sorry that I took a break without saying anything to you guys. I was in so much pain this past week because of my pregnancy, and I really was not expecting that. Looking back, I should have made a YouTube post. I honestly don't know why I didn't. I think just every single day I was like, oh, well, tomorrow will be better, and so I didn't think that it was going to be something that I needed to update you guys on, but like that was such an Amber move. I should have absolutely created a community post. So I do apologize for that, and I'm going to try to keep you guys more in the loop if something like that happens again. That being said, we're going to go ahead and watch some TikToks from Amberlynn today, and let's go ahead and get started.
All right, you guys. So I thought this could be fun and productive. It's a little challenge type of deal that I could do with you guys, especially if you are around my size. And, you know, a lot of things have to be moderated. Is that the right word? Modified. Row. So I do a lot of movement throughout the day, more than I did before this journey.
Okay, so first of all, she starts out by saying that she's posting this for people of her size, which I have to say, I think that's a pretty small demographic of people that are like in the 600s that would be watching TikTok and wanting to do exercise without the help of a medical professional. But at the same point, you know, I don't care what her reasoning is. I'm excited to see her do some actual physical activity. This is kind of giving me a throwback to when her and Beck were living with Eric and Ricky, and they were doing that little exercise challenge. So, you know, I live for the nostalgia. I have seen that at some point she switches over to doing the infinity hoop. I'm not sure if she does more than just the jumping jacks and the infinity hoop, but I wanted to watch her day one with the infinity hoop and her day one with the jumping jacks. On top of that, I know some people might say something about the cat. I personally don't mind that she left the cat in front of the camera instead of editing it out or doing a retake, because it's just good to see that her pets are alive and well at this point. So, you know, I don't really have anything to say about her leaving that in, but to her last point of saying that she's a lot more active than she was last time or whatever, I don't really believe that. I think that if Amber was truly doing anything active, I think she would put it on camera. Even if she was taking Twinkie out for a walk, I honestly think that we would get some vlog footage or something of that. And who knows, supposedly she was going to be doing a vlog from Monday to Monday, so maybe she's going to post something like that soon. But yeah, I just don't think that she would be active without it being for content, honestly.
Sometimes I even go to the gym. Yes, I do. Like me and my mom, we went today. Baby boy! Here, let me put you guys more on the edge here. So
Yeah, I think that's a lie. I don't think she went to the gym with Mama Lynn unless it was literally to just physically visit where her gym is in her apartment in order to like know how to get there for the future. Because the only way I can see her actually going to a gym and like utilizing anything there would be for a vlog. And, you know, again, I don't want to be mean, but at the same time, when she was with Beck, she said that she couldn't use a treadmill or any workout equipment or anything. Yes, she could use free weights, obviously. But any like actual equipment is not going to be graded for a person of her weight. So, like, why would you go to the gym then? It would be to use the free weights. But at this point, like, her body weight is more than enough to get a good workout because she doesn't want to push herself too hard, especially if this is, like, the first time she's doing any actual exercise or anything like that. So, yeah, I don't know that I believe that her and her mom went to the gym and that Amber participated in working out. The only way I could see her doing anything at the actual gym, because I believe she would probably be too embarrassed to do anything in there, and like I said, she's not even getting the benefit of the machines, would be if it was for her vlog. And this was filmed on July 15th, so I don't think that she had vlogging in mind yet. Unless she was like, oh, let's go see where the gym is for when I vlog. But we haven't seen anything on her channel since her last live stream, so that remains to be seen.
I mean, my mom like went to the gym today. I try to do movement, but I do have lipedema. So when I exercise, I get super swollen and I tend to fluctuate on the scale, and I don't like seeing that. But anyways, we're gonna do modified jumping jack challenge, where I come on here, I show you guys that someone over 500 pounds can do it. I can't jump. Like, I'm just going up with my tippy toes. So I do modified where I go like this. And it's a lot of movement for someone my size, okay? But one day, I would like to be able to jump, okay? Like, I can't jump. So imagine one day I come up on here and I could do one normal jumping jack. Like, that would be so cool. But
okay, so I like where her head is at in making a non-scale victory for herself. However, I do think that that is kind of a hefty goal. It doesn't sound like that much. Like, I literally was ready to be like, oh yeah, that's a great goal because that's something that's super achievable. But then I was thinking about it. I Googled it, and according to Google, you should not do jumping jacks or any like high impact moves if you are heavier than 250 pounds. So while she comes on here and it's very easy to say, imagine how cool it would be if one day I could come on here and do a real jumping jack. Realistically, she's probably going to have to lose at least half of her body weight, probably more than that. Granted, I do think that there's people in the 300s that are out here jumping. So, you know, it's maybe possible, but it's definitely not like a, oh yeah, at the end of the month, she'll be able to do a jumping jack kind of goal. So even though it sounds like a small goal, I would like to see her set some more realistic goals. And again, maybe when she gets to the infinity hoop, she will. Like, maybe her goal will be to lose one link off of the infinity hoop or something like that, which I think might be a little bit more attainable, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Challenge is to come on here, do my modified jumping jacks for you guys, and every single day I do it, either do the same amount of reps that I did the day before or one more rep, okay? So it's like every day I'm looking for improvement. So let's do day 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not going to keep counting. I'm going to count in my head. Stopping at 35. Ooh. I feel the burn here. That's where I mainly feel it, and like lower calves. So I'm gonna come back tomorrow and do 35 or more. Okay?
At first I thought that was pretty good for her because I honestly was only expecting her to get to about 20. But then I thought about it and I was like, she counted them wrong. Like, you're supposed to count them like, okay, if she lifts her left leg and then puts the left leg down and then lifts her right leg, that should be 1. But she's counting it as I lifted my left leg 1, I lifted my right leg 2, and that's not correct. So if you take the number that she came up with and divide it in half, then it's actually 18, which is about what I thought that she'd be able to do. So kind of wish that she would have counted it appropriately, but I have a feeling that this is one of those 4 half sandwich type deals where it just makes her feel better. Because I'm sure she knows that. I think it'd be pretty difficult to get through the public school system and not know that you're supposed to count exercises like that, because that's something that I definitely learned in my gym class, but I digress. I mean, there's a possibility she doesn't know. Either way, you know, I'm glad to see her doing any kind of physical activity. I do want to see her on day 1 with the infinity hoop, so I want to go ahead and watch that real quick. Final thoughts on the jumping jack thing is that I know that it doesn't look very impressive and that there's always people who think Amber could be doing more, but I actually think this is a great way to start out working out if you are at a higher weight level, is just to set the bar for what you can do and try to at least hit that, if not exceed it, the next day, and to be super, super careful because a lot of people get into exercising and they just want to see the results right away or feel like an active person. They push themselves too hard, get an injury, and then you're back on the couch. And that is not an ideal place to be, especially for somebody like Amber. We all remember what happened with her dangling ankles. So I think that was a good start. But let's go ahead and jump into her infinity ring. Okay, she started it out just off the jump with copyright music. So I'm going to have it up on the screen if you guys want to see what she was doing, but I'm going to talk over it. What did take me out was that she wrote, "I got creative and turned in a circle." And I was like, oh my gosh, only Amberlynn would think that thinking to turn around while you're doing something is super creative. But Whatever. She says on the on-screen text that it's a super fun workout. If she continues to think that it's fun and it works for her, great. I'm always down to see her doing more exercise. If you're just listening and not watching, she said she did 6 minutes on day 1. But since she didn't give an introduction or anything, I was like, okay, well, where did this infinity hoop come from? So I watched the TikTok prior to this, thinking she's in the same outfit. Maybe it's her unboxing or something. She didn't unbox it. She did her jumping jacks, which in that video, she said it was day 10 of her jumping jacks, and she had done 59. So just to make the math easier, I'm going to round that up to 60. And if we assume that she is still counting every other one, then that's 30 jumping jacks, like the proper way to count them. So that's pretty good, I would say. That's like almost double what she did on day 1. So I thought that was kind of impressive, honestly. That being said, she didn't introduce the infinity hoop. Just at the end, she goes, okay, now I have to do my infinity hoop, as if we already knew about the infinity hoop. So I checked the one before that one, which was a what I eat in a day. And I gotta tell you guys, I do not like watching the what I eat in a days. It was fine, but I just didn't really feel like her diet has changed enough to really have much to comment on there. The only thing that was new that I saw was that she was eating these like seaweed chips, and that was sort of interesting. I don't know what the like calories and macros and everything is on the seaweed chips, but I'm like, isn't the whole point of having seaweed that it kind of replaces a chip and that it's crunchy and salty? So I don't know that I would want anything that's gonna make the macros on the seaweed worse. But again, I don't know anything about the seaweed chips that she had, so that was just something that stuck out in my mind. That being said, she did not say anything about the infinity ring there either. So I was like, okay, well, what the heck? Like, why do we not know anything about the infinity hoop? But then she's acting like, oh, well, now I have to do my infinity hoop, as if it was something we would know about. So that bothered me that she didn't have like an intro for the infinity hoop saying like, oh, I got this. This is what I'm thinking or anything. She just like pops it on and we're supposed to just be along for the ride. But at the same time, it's not that big a deal. We've all seen the ads, I'm sure. So, you know, it's whatever. I just thought that for her audience, it might have been nice if she gave a little intro to her getting it or showed us her taking out the links or something like that. But it is what it is. The only other thing I want to touch on is some of the comments she got. I didn't scroll super far or anything like that. Just saw what I saw when I was watching the TikToks. And I saw people saying things like, oh, you should add in some light dumbbells while you're doing the jumping jacks to make them more difficult. Or, oh, you know, like losing weight is not that hard. It's just calories in, calories out. And, you know, I don't like Amber. And obviously when I make these videos, I am not taking into consideration her personality. I am just taking into consideration what she's showing us, which is her weight loss journey. And I don't think that you should be telling people who are literally just starting to work out to add weights and stuff like that. Like, I understand that some people believe in higher weight and lower rep. In fact, that's honestly the way that I would choose to do it if I were working out like that. But that being said, like, she just got started. I think she was on day 10 of her jumping jacks at this point. And then obviously we only watched day 1 of the infinity hoop. So like, you know, I think give people some time to get into it before you start giving advice like that, because her body weight alone is more than enough weight at this time. And if she's trying to get up to a certain number, like, why not let her get up to 100 and then add in some weight or something like that? She doesn't have to make it more difficult right off the bat when she's still trying to incorporate it into a regular part of her routine. And then in terms of being like, oh, it's not hard to lose weight, it's just calories in, calories out. I agree with the information. I do not agree with the sentiment. It is hard to lose weight. It's just simple. You know what I mean? It's difficult, but simple. So yes, I do believe in calories in, calories out. I do understand that some people have conditions or medical stuff that does make that a little bit trickier, but for an average standard person, calories in, calories out usually works very well. But I don't think that that's really doing anybody any good to be like, oh, it's not hard. Obviously, it's hard. If it was easy, then she would have lost the weight years ago. And I think people forget sometimes that it's not just Amber that they're talking to. It is like there's other people on weight loss journeys that are trying to take advice from videos. Like, you know, I watched a lot of Amber reaction channels when I was losing weight. And so I think it is important to like not make it sound like, oh, it's so easy that anybody can do it. Because while I do believe that anybody can lose weight, I don't think that it's easy. It's just simple, if that makes sense. So either way, that's pretty much everything I have to say about Amber. I am going to talk very briefly about where my channel is going. So if you want to stick around for that, you can. If not, then you are free to go. I don't have any more Amber commentary. So let's go ahead and get into that. Basically, I am not able to do as much as I was anticipating doing. I was going to wait until the end of August to take my maternity leave, but I think I'm going to have to alter my schedule now. So I think Tuesdays and Thursdays will be guaranteed upload days. I am going to try to get back onto doing Mr. Delulu videos every Saturday, but I do have to obviously work with when he's willing and able to upload, and as I'm able to do less deeper into my pregnancy, he's having to do more, and so unfortunately I can't commit that he's always going to feel like doing that. That being said, I do know that a lot of my members have signed up specifically to see Mr. Delulu, so I do have 2 videos that are going to be going out to all of my channel members, and then I do have one special video for just the second tier members that's going to be going out. I plan on having another one for just the second tier members coming out, but I just can't commit anything right now because I don't want to say that I'm going to do something and then like not deliver it. So that's pretty much the plan, is basically Tuesdays and Thursdays are guaranteed. If I have energy to do more, then great, I'll do more. But realistically, it's probably going to be closer to just those 2 days. That way I can start filming some content to put out while I am on my maternity leave, if that makes sense. So if you guys have any other suggestions, or there's something else you want to see, or if you are a member or are thinking about being a member and you don't care about Mr. Delulu and you want to see something else, please leave that stuff in the comments down below too, because I am interested to hear what you guys want to see. Other than that, if you made it this far, you already know. Stay Delulu, but not that Delulu. And I'll catch you in the next one.